Alright, so nice and busy, but here's what we got. This is a custom install of some ham radio equipment into a chopped up center console. So this original center console had like a miscellaneous tray there, and then a couple of cup holders here. So using a Dremel, I was able to cut that out to the size for the 3 items that I wanted to put in here. It's going to be a Anytone UV578 dual band transceiver, dual VFO, of a digital trunk tracking scanner. It's a unit in BCD996P2, and this is a code 3 3892 model siren, PA, and switch box. So this basically, I think this came from an old security company. It was surplus I worked at. Siren's not hooked off, obviously, because I don't have need for a siren, but if I ever needed a PA or a electronic air horn, which could sound cool, but mostly I'm using it as the switch box to control the accessories. So comes with 3-tier progressive switching. I think it's supposed to be for like overhead police lights, stage 1, 2, and 3. So I can sequentially light stuff up. I'll probably end up installing some off-road lighting later on too. So I could use it for that. The first one I have is to power the transceiver. Second one's to power the scanner. I also have a CB radio hanging off the side of the console here. And then this is unused. And then
this is an American League station, channel, frequency I should say.
Yeah, you can be quiet. Anyways, these will be reserved for in-car GPS and radar detector later on, and I may change that up. You can, these are just printed off a label maker. This one's default. You can just slip some labels in there. Anyways, so I had these radios running off of magma antennas for a while, which is less than ideal. And so I just did my first ever drilling a hole in the roof and put some NMO, 3 NMO antennas. So basically one for the CB, which I don't know if I have it in here, but uses a shortest CB antenna I could find because I didn't want a big long fire stick hanging off the side of the car. And it goes to I think it's 3/8 thread standard CB to NMO adapter. And then I got a couple of antennas for the scanner and for the transceiver. So today, the only other thing that's going on here is when I ran these cables, these came with the default length of coax. So I have all this extra coax. They're going to trim down. I could have looped it up or run it around somewhere, or zip tied it off. But I'm actually going to go ahead and cut the coax and then apply a new SMA connector at the end. I like to run SMA connectors at the end of my coax because it makes feeding cable through narrow places a lot more convenient. And I could have definitely measured out and cut and soldered in the house at the workbench, but I have this, I think it's like a TS80 or TS100 soldering iron, and you can run them off at 12 volts. This car is a hybrid, so I actually have a 120 volt adapter plugged in at the moment, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the coax and solder some SMA connectors just hanging right outside of the car here. And, let's see, I'll show you the NMO installations. So it's These front ones, I think, actually just supposed to be a VHS whip from Laird. It actually gets killer SWR on 70 centimeters as well. The center one is, I think it's like probably a cellular or 800 or 900 megahertz low profile antenna that I'm just using essentially as a cap, but it's a cap that'll still allow me to receive CB transmissions if they're close range. So if I just put a rain cap on there, which I do recommend you have, there's a couple of these. I think these are Larson NMO rain caps. They come with a rubber gasket here. So going through a car wash, I'll take the antennas off and pop these on. And basically, if I had put this on there, I would have received nothing. But I've actually driven down the highway, and just with a totally incorrect band, low profile, high VHF antenna, still able to pick up CB transmissions if they're you know, passing by a truck stop or if they're on the highway with me. So it's basically a cap that's functional, but then I'll use these guys for the other two mounts. You know, going through the car wash, don't want to break the antennas off. And then the one at the rear is actually a GPS NMO combo. So inside that plastic black housing there, it's a GPS antenna, which will work with the what's it called? The APRS for the dual band transceiver. If I choose to use APRS, now I have an external GPS antenna rather than utilizing the internal one, which does support the APRS, has a GPS receiver inside. So yeah, and then I'm going to try to switch to a GoPro while I do this and see if I can get some footage of the coax termination with the GoPro. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I'll also show you the I'll run inside and grab it. The drill bit. It's a Laird hole saw drill bit specifically for drilling the 3/4 inch holes in the roof. Just had to take the headliner down. This is the only part I haven't reinstalled, but basically up in here is the skin of the roof. So you just want to make sure you locate. I think I had like a cross beam right back here, and then this light fixture, and then that front NMO's mounted right about there. And then the other one's back that way and then further back. So depends on your car. Taking the headliner down is kind of a pain in the ass, but definitely the way to do it. And yeah, we'll switch some cameras up, we'll get soldering. Here's the hole saw made by Laird. It's like HS34 or something as the model number. Okay. We have cable running. It's going to go under the seat. It's going to cut right. One's going to go to the CB. The other one's going to go into the console and up to the radio. But I'm going to leave them both the same length so I have enough slack so this console lifts up for service. So I should give enough there. Not necessarily a full service loop, but just enough slack. So we'll go ahead and chop these. Making sure I measure right. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. So we're going to terminate both these the same. Okay, clamp. Yes. It's not working. Oh, duh. important. Put the crimp sleeve on before you start doing stuff. It's really annoying when you forget. Gotta cut it, tear it apart, do it again. Same goes for the heat shrink. I don't think that's... That's tight. We'll go with that. Scissors would have been better, but I don't want to run back inside. We'll do the ugly side down on that. Okay. So let's do this. Alright, a convention when cutting coax is all the shielding in there makes for some nasty pins and needles. So you don't want this on your clothes, you don't want this in your car seat. All these really fine little wires can, they basically turn into like splinters and they get hard to find, so be careful of that. Let's see where we at here. Oh, we also have the tip. So about there. So we'll go about there. Just barely trying to get the insulation off. I don't want to cut into the shielding and make a mess. Take away too many of my braiding there. Okay, I think I'm through it. Nice. Okay, we'll do this over the... Yeah, you can see I cut a few in there, so I don't want those things, this stuff right here, nasty. Get rid of that. I had some get caught in this hoodie one time. It was a pain in the ass. Okay. Push that back. Ooh, alright. More than I needed, but that's fine. So we're right there. So you want to be safe. Okay. Should be about right. All right. So one of these is the tip that accepts the other end of the SMA connector that mates it. The other one has a tiny little hole right there. So you flow some solder. Let's measure where we're at. Boom. So it'll just peek out the tip, and I don't have excess gap. That's perfect. Alright. These little helping hand things are super cheap, super useful. One trick to this is do not flow too much solder into these, otherwise the connector won't fit over that sleeve. Heater up. Boom. The temp. Just a little touch to get some connectivity, heat in there. Boom. That's all you need. That's it. Drop the temp. Keep that tip nice and shiny. A little bit of dab on there. Where are we at? 280 Celsius. Okay. This is the sketchy part. Don't knock your 300 Celsius degree soldering iron onto a meltable or flammable surface. Alright. Little slips on there. I forgot to get some flush cutters or wire cutters, so we're going to trim the excess braid off here. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Do this part outside of the vehicle. I don't need any metallic splinters. I had a sharper pair of flush cutters that I just managed to break, so these small wire cutters will work in the meantime. The idea is to push this on, have minimal to no braiding overflowing out the top of the crimp. Contact that it's braiding is what goes to ground the end of the connector. So we're looking pretty good there. I can slide this up. Yeah, money. Otherwise you'd have all these little, kind of like these guys right here, popping out the top. So trim that back. This one I can just probably cram in there. Nice. We give our center conductor there. All right, we are ready to crimp. Now with my particular pair of crimpers, the width of the crimper is not quite the same as the width of the crimp tube. So it ends up leaving a little bit of a flare, and I will put that flare toward the connector so that I have a nice smooth transition when I heat shrink. I'll show you what I mean here. Leave it, which one is it? Give me that middle, or end one, okay. So I will align to the, there. Oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong one. Right, it's over here. Okay, so see there's that gap right there, and that'll flare out. Make sure this is compressed in all nice and tight. See, it turns into a hex shape. And here's the flare that I'm talking about. So I've done it before where that flare was on this end and it makes kind of an ugly lump. Go ahead and heat shrink over that. Ugly side of our cut down. If I had real scissors, I would have made that nicer. You can use a butane hot air torch, you can use a heat gun, you can use a lighter. I'm outside, so I picked a lighter. I have a heat gun inside. And you can see that flare would have protruded out. I have another cable that I accidentally terminated that way. It's the little things. Boom. SMA female terminated. Go ahead and throw. Not that it's necessary, but they have these. It comes with these bulkhead nut and lock washer on, so might as well throw it on there. Give it a little twist. Just snug it so it doesn't come loose. And then I can go ahead and terminate into the radio with adapters such as this to UHF. But if I ever need to run coax through a narrow spot, this can come off. And then I'll just have a nice skinny SMA connector that can fit into tight places. I'll go ahead and do number 2. What did we end up? It's about not that much. That was even a little bit much, so we'll back it up just a little bit. Just want the insulator, not the steel braiding. I think there's actually a tool that does this better, but I don't have it. This works fine. Just be careful. Boom. Alright. Did I seriously cut 0 steel braiding? That's impressive. Interesting. Okay. Looking good. Grab another terminating connector. As I remembered, I've already done my heat shrink and my crimp. Where are we at there? Okay. Oh, this guy's interesting. So this cable doesn't use a solid copper connector. It looks like it uses stranded, some silver colored. So that'll definitely wick some solder into it a little bit better. But that also means there's a little bit left here, which I don't want in the car. It also means when I cut this, I Actually, we'll strip it back further first. Nope. Again, tiny little splinters. Do not want. Alright. That should be good. That's looking right. Okay. We'll trim just the tip of that off. Keep those splinters outside. We'll take one of our right over there. Check our lineup. Where are we at? Did I cut too much? Ooh, looks like I did. So here's what we'll do. We'll strip a little more. Actually, I'm stripping too much. Let's see, bigger size there. Try it there. And then the cheat is that we will, instead of pulling the black insulating back further, we can actually cram the we can actually cram this almost into the insulation. How far are we gonna go? Out there? That'll be a bit of a push, but I can do it. Alright, we'll go ahead and solder. Where are we at? 17, 16, 15 degrees Celsius. Let's heat her back up. Accidentally got into the menu. 1 second. Now, because this is stranded on the inside, I'll put a little more solder in there because it can actually wick it up. But that is literally all you need. Drop that temp, clean the tip. Nice and shiny, nice and smooth. $274. Don't melt your carpet. Okay. Go ahead and trim this guy. There's the push I'm talking about. Successful. Still got a little more to trim here. little bit of overhang on this one, but it should be alright. Oh, alright, they're running into an issue. So, that cramp doesn't want to slide over. So I will indeed have to splice this insulation back. Well, about that much. It actually gives me a little guide, so let's go with that. Okay. And flush this back out. Oh. Okay. So that shouldn't be an issue, but also because the center conductor was stranded wire rather than solid copper, when I was compressing this down, it actually collapsed some of that stranded wire. But it's got a solid solder connection, and it's all going to be contained inside. Oh, but we don't want it to short, do we? Okay. Alright, so this is my first time doing one with a stranded center conductor, which is teaching me that measuring is that much more important. Because yeah, if this were to touch the inside of that barrel, that would essentially short. So that's a mess. Here's what we're doing. Nope. Can I save it? That's the question. I was about to chop it, and then I realized I didn't want to resolder the tip. But I think... Oh, actually... This might be a little unconventional, but you know I can totally save this. I was going to put heat shrink on it, on the inside, but... It might be good enough. Does that compress? Yeah, let's do a little... Let's see if I have some very tiny heat shrink. I do. Unconventional. Let's see what happens. Too much. Let's go with that. Unconventional indeed. Let's see how it works. Oh, of course, I melted this a little bit. Doesn't wanna... Yeah. You know what? I'm fine with that. That'll work. That avoids me having to desolder the center connector and resolder. I think this will be fine. Note to self, only buy coax with a solid copper center conductor, because that was annoying. Alright, we're going to leave a little overhang. You'll see what that looks like, and I'll just try to heat shrink over it. Trim if I really have to, but yeah. It's because I don't have my good flush cutters. We'll see if I can trim a little bit. Alright. Good with that. Center connector's in place. This cooled off before I melted anything. Good. Alright. Nice. Nice. Alright. Try to get some of those little, yeah.
Welcome to the labyrinth that all of us are trapped in, where every single question that you're asking is destined to be trashed with a vexing kind of madness, perplexing and disastrous. Questioning the classics, flexing, get your ass kicked. I'm the second hat trick that knocks you off your game with the lexicon and half-wits I picked up in the rain. I heard whispers in the summer, they sounded like your name, but the pretense of the seas, they have you cheesing all the same. Nothing like a long car trip to refresh your senses. When we was in the backseat, my feet left me senseless, but now I only half-beat rejected fences, and I could never catch sleep. I seem less inventive and I gleam less intensive. I dream secondhand of my plans, hand over hand. I'm a man with the same castle brand, and it's tide coming, so I guess it's best if I start running, or I'm fucking done with it. Or I'm fucking done with it. Or I'm fucking done with it.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Now I got some extra cable to play with. Remember that one time I said I think there's a tool that does that better? I have one. Forgot about it. If I recall correctly, the cable goes in. How does this go? It's got two blades, I think. One for the external insulation and one for the inside. Let's try. Yup. Boom. Let's do a male for this one. Not follow my own advice. Remember what I said the first thing you're supposed to do? Let's do the other one too. That one will be a female. Yeah. So I was getting lazy. Maybe not lazy, I was just taking advantage of the fact that solid copper stranding is a lot more forgiving. The actual cut should almost come flush to the inside insulation. Boom, right there. That stranded kind of had me thrown off guard there. Oh, one convention that I wanted to point out when drilling the NMO mount is one thing I noticed is this disc that you get, the cutout hole that you get. I drilled a pilot hole and then I put this on it and popped the whole thing out. That actually gets pretty hot, and it can be hot enough to melt stuff. So I definitely recommend, I think I had like a cardboard tray that I kind of snaked in between the headliner and the roof to catch both metal shavings and also that disc. On one of the three, the disc was actually retained by this drill bit and came out the top. The other two, the disc fell into where the headliner is. And so if that thing's piping hot, it could potentially melt through, you know, the synthetic fibers of your headliner. So something to watch out for. Actually, let's use these. Yeah, it's better. Oh, these things are gonna get everywhere again. No. Evil. Don't want those near clothes. We'll go with that for now. Where we at? Not good. Heat transfer, come on.
Thank you for listening. Please consider being a patron. Donate just $1. Support Chillski. Visit chillsky.com for details.
There it is. Just took a hair too much off. It's the never-ending balancing act. Yeah, I don't want to cut into that. All right, we're gonna do that manually just to get a little bit off. A little more. I think that tool actually had me right at least close to where I needed to be. I'll try just trusting it on the next one and see where it comes out. Pretty good. And I don't know if it's going to be too much material, but I'm going to try, instead of trimming, twisting a lot of this around, since this is longer. Let's see if that crimp tube will cover it up. It's going to be mostly. Alright. Not bad. Alright. The way this works is that it ratchets down, and then once you get to the end, to open it back up, you press through and it unlocks again. And then they make different teeth that fit for different applications, coax cable, I think like phone, Ethernet cable, all that type of stuff. So I'll go ahead and align here. There we go. Just got one. Am I inside now? Yes. Do I have a heat shrink or a heat gun in here? Yes. Do I want to bust it out right now? No. Did I already have this lighter laying here? Yes. All right. So, another convention, which I didn't show in the car, but not a bad idea, is test your shorts and connectivity. Multimeter to audio resistance mode. Alright, the two outers should conduct, the two inners should conduct, and they should not conduct when crossed. Good? Good? Not so good. Uh-oh. Oh, it's because I'm... Okay, let's try it again. So I had it at an angle, it was touching the outside there. Inside to out, not conducting, inside to inside, conducting. So it's a good cable. So I've now essentially taken that excess coax and made it an extension, SMA extension. I want to connect an antenna to that or something. Let's do this guy. Try right there. Oh, that's right. I forgot this is the the stranded center conductor stuff. Not a fan. We'll get through it though. Not a fan. Oh geez, that just sprung off. Don't want to lose those. These all need to get vacuumed up or wiped up. Cannot stress enough how obnoxious it is to find splinters of very fine steel braiding that stab you, get under your skin, get stuck in the fabric. Ugh, it's terrible. Contain these. Alright, we're doing male for this one. Or, I'm sorry, female for this one. SMA female. These SMA connectors are super cheap. Get them on eBay. A few dollars. Makes life easy. Okay. Yeah, right on the money. The soldering iron's amazing. I'm pretty sure, right back into the menu again. I forget how to get out of that. Don't want to look it up right now. I'll just go the cheater way, turn it off and on again. I'm pretty sure this is a TS80. Wait, am I in the menu? What gives? There we go. That button puts it into like voltage temperature meter. That button heats it up, and then there's other combos of buttons to do stuff that I can't remember because it's been a while since I looked it up. But this thing heats up super fast, cools off pretty quick as well. I think there's a new version that runs off USB-C. They're a little pricey, but they're not crazy. Okay, heat transfer please. Alright, there's an issue. The solder is flowing to the outside of that for some reason instead of the inside. See how well I get it off versus I'm about to demonstrate some desoldering wick here. Yeah, I think so. Desoldering wick just flows the solder up into this copper braid. Okay. There it goes. That's what we want. All right. like a pretty good mechanical connection. All right. We just need to take it, once again, a little bit off. There we go. Try that twist method again. I've tried this in the past, it never really worked out very well. I think I might have just got lucky with that last one. Usually like bunches up and still manages to hang out over the edge and doesn't fit properly. The tube over it, but we'll give it another shot. Yeah. Not as forgiving. I might have trimmed more off of the first one too. Yeah, no. We're gonna trim off of this. Try that again. Much better. I dig it. All right. Unlike my other like explained, more instructional videos, no one actually asked for this. This is the kind of stuff I do a lot. Usually it takes kind of a while. I think we're probably coming up on 45 minutes an hour maybe this. Maybe this should be on Twitch instead, I don't know, but it's been so long since I've put anything on that YouTube channel. I figured might as well. Cool. So that's how you terminate some SMA connectors onto some coax. Useful skill. Okay, gotta buy some more of these. Running out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to mention. I definitely wanted to mention the thing about the metal shavings and the hot disc coming out of the NMO connector. Definitely wanted to mention that I did in fact have this coaxial cable stripping tool. The TS, I think it's a TS80 soldering iron. Pretty good. Yeah. Figured I'd make a video. Do something. It's been a while. There you have it. There's some cleanly terminated connectors. I guess we could do the same continuity test. This other one here. Yup. Yep. Sweet. Good continuity, no shorts. Nice little pigtail for whatever utilitarian use, but yeah. Can't imagine, yeah, like I said, this should be on Twitch if anything. I doubt anybody cares, but people have been subscribing to me. I don't know why. I haven't put out content. And they still do. Yeah, there you go. Maybe I'll do more of these if anybody actually cares.